If you're anything like me, you grew up with games basically from square one. You're popped out of whatever satanic pit spawned you, and your parents popped a controller between your little sausage fingers. Call of Duty has always had this interesting way of worming its way into people's lives. At an age where you're probably too young, you got a copy of COD. Whether that be by leeching off of your buddies, or because your family didn't really know what the game was about, one way or another, these games found their way into the collections of most kids. And the experience of playing Call of Duty on split screen with cousins, friends, siblings, whoever it may be. Man, that was something. The addictive gameplay loop of non-stop grinding to get through as many waves of zombies as possible. Destroying your buddies in 1v1s or even getting destroyed in 1v1s and yelling at them for screen cheating. Team deathmatches with people triple your age. Hell, even Call of Duty YouTube was completely different. Commentary from people like Woody, Cena and his Hutch. It's easy to forget how long ago that was, but I'm not kidding when I say I saw a nostalgia post about these people and it was posted 10 years ago. Needless to say, this franchise has been running a long time, and yet somehow, every iteration in the early days really did feel fresh. The differences between Modern Warfare and Black Ops were as plain as the difference between Viva Pinata and Resident Evil. Actually, those might not be the best examples, they're kind of similar. That's a different discussion, you get the point. Things were constantly changing, growing, expanding, and for most of us, that was awesome. I mean, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 2, it felt like every title was just that much better than the last. So how did we get here? Nowadays, COD is treated almost like a bit of a joke. It gets lumped in with FIFA and 2K as part of the same game every year club, and aside from a few exceptions, that isn't wrong. I'm not gonna diss people who play each new game because I've been playing Minecraft for just as long, and as far as I can tell, those devs work an hour a week. So don't get it twisted. But somewhere along the way, innovation, passion, it took a backseat to just having something on the shelf to sell.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32
From the word go, COD was hitting home run after home run. Game of the Year winners, critical success after critical success. Millions of games sold for the first time in Activision's history. Kids all over the world were obsessed. From 2003 to 2006, there were 3 games released, building up the audience's appetite, showing that they were capable of making real hits with every release. They had a growing budget, and word of mouth was spreading like wildfire, taking them to stratospheric heights. And truthfully, it was only fair. The games had identity and something fans hadn't seen before. The Krabby Patty's secret formula, if you will. Somehow, each game was just as good, if not better than the last. And what you know, they weren't close to stopping. 2007 rolls around and we get Modern Warfare. It's a new setting, gameplay dialed to 11, and a campaign that was adored. Millions of sales, building reputation, building trust, building hype. And these weren't just commercial successes. People were talking about the games more than ever. YouTubers were starting to make a living off of COD of all things, through organizations like Machinima. The quintessential idea of COD lobby, that all started here.
Yo, Holly, shut the fuck up. You're gonna bitch complaining that damn much about a video game.
The games, the communities, and the social media presence of COD, they were all thriving. And then in 2009, Modern Warfare 2 was a phenomenon like they had never seen. It was marketed out the arse, and it was worth it. $1 billion in sales. Activision is at a point where whatever Call of Duty they release is netting more money than they have ever seen. People couldn't get enough. People like you and I were finding these games, and it was life-defining. There were experiences you couldn't get from any book or movie, and all you had to do was spend $60. You can't put a price on an experience like this one, right? It's new, it's thrilling, the games are miles better every single year. And this held true through the next 5 years. Each release netting record-breaking profits on release, and so we got release after release after release. After 11 years straight of win after win, something had to give. You can only refine a formula so much, it can only get so good. So what other choice is there but to find a way to spice things up? Wrong. When Mr. Microtransactions comes knocking, do not answer the door. We saw a little of this in Modern Warfare 3, but it didn't mean much. A stat tracker doesn't change the actual game itself, the game isn't booting up into some online storefront. It was still pretty reserved, but it was a marked downturn for the legacy of Call of Duty. The only things you used to buy were DLC, expansions to the experience in some way. But when you take the attention away from playing the game, you get microtransactions. And as much as I rave about Black Ops 2, it wasn't free from this either. It was so early though that, for the most part, people just felt like it was for the whales with a bit of extra dough to burn. But this very quickly stopped being the case.
This thing is exploded.
First off, we have a pretty explicit shift in direction when we hit Advanced Warfare. The games keep feeling less and less like they used to because instead of playing as some grizzled soldier in the heat of war, you're playing as some inhuman cyborg with lobotomy lasers that could melt a hole in the moon. And it kept getting worse. Black Ops 3 and then Infinite Warfare, every entry strayed further from what people liked the games for in the first place. And it's pretty clear to see why that's an issue. Can you imagine going to McDonald's for a burger and suddenly they tell you they only sell fruits and vegetables? You wouldn't be going to McDonald's if that's what you wanted. Just like how I wouldn't be playing COD for sci-fi. I would be playing Halo or Bioshock or Destiny, not a realistic war game. And then they moved on to microtransactions. Treyarch saw all this money that they were making from chumps buying cosmetics, and then looked over the neighbor's fence to see Fortnite, raking it in with a free-to-play game. This was a revelation. And so they booted up their computers and got working away on a remaster of Modern Warfare, with all the bells and whistles. Microtransactions, battle passes, cosmetics, seasonal content, loot boxes. And it worked. They were raking in more money than ever, and that led to what I think was the biggest point of failure in the whole operation. Warzone. Don't get me wrong, Warzone is heaps of fun, but if you're telling me it was made for any reason other than the fact that battle royales were popular, the hip new thing, you're losing your mind. This engaged a full live service model to leech every last penny from the common man, and their monetization practices became more exploitative and aggressive by the day. Safe to say, this is what really got people upset. Let's say you've been playing these games for years, maybe even decades. You've been fiercely loyal to the franchise. Every night you get on the game to unwind and one day you think, let's try the new Battle Royale. And then every moment of the experience is the company that you've been shelling out money to for 20 years trying to rip every single dollar out of your wallet. Walls of text promoting new cosmetics, collabs and skins, and you're sitting there wondering, what happened to just playing a game?
They were really thinking they managed to spend a couple...
This brings us to more recent memory, with the remasters that have been coming out. They follow through with the formula we all know and love, and should pretty much just be the originals, but better. But they aren't. They've been roaring successes, and far better than anything for the past almost decade. And yet there's still something not quite right. There's some ineffable quality that they just can't replicate no matter what they do. And I won't pretend I have any real critiques of the new games because I stopped buying them. Honestly, every time I see gameplay, it's hard to tell if it was rendered in an engine or if it's real life. And with these new titles, they're going above and beyond delivering products that are really, really high quality. But I can't care anymore. And I think the same goes for a lot of people. Why should I spend 110 Australian big ones just to play a remaster of a game that I own? Or for a game I can pick up for $10 at my local game traders? Truth is, I don't think I ever will, and you probably won't either. Because what made these games special in the first place isn't something that can be programmed into them. You and me, we're in different places, in different worlds entirely than the ones we were in 10, even 20 years ago, and I think that's okay. I'm happy that they decided to make a change, but I think I'll be just fine playing another few rounds of the original MW2.